Several concepts, ideas, and tools that are not part of the Scrum Guide. However, they are widely used by the Scrum teams. Kanban-board and Scrum-board are not prescribed by the Scrum Guide. But actually, I've never met a Scrum team not using a board with status columns. User story. User stories are written by the customers as things that the system needs to do for them. They are in the format of about 3 sentences of text written by the customer in the customer's terminology, without techno-syntax, and are not limited to describing a user interface. They are from the extreme programming approach and not part of the Scrum Guide. However, they are widely used. Almost every Scrum team that I met used user stories as its backlog items. Since Scrum is a framework, it doesn't limit their usage, so you may use them. Feature is just a feature of a system or a product, maybe a functionality or non-functional characteristic. In the approach called feature-driven development, a feature is a client-valued functionality. Similarly to user stories, features are not part of the Scrum Guide. However, they are widely used too. And since Scrum is a framework, it doesn't limit their usage. Epics. Epics are large bodies of work that can be broken down into a number of smaller items, features or user stories, based on the needs of customers or end users. Mainly used by teams that use Jira to maintain backlogs. As with user stories, epics are not part of the Scrum Guide. However, since Scrum is a framework, it doesn't limit their usage. Definition of ready. Similar to definition of done, which is a commitment on quality for the increment, the Agile community invented the term definition of ready. Please note that although it seems logical, there is no such term in the Scrum Guide. It just says product backlog items that can be done by the Scrum team within 1 sprint are deemed ready for selection in a sprint planning event. T-shaped people or T-skilled specialists are employees who have a well-developed competence in their main specialization and at the same time understand and can do the job in the related areas, in the areas of their team, at the initial or intermediate level. In the letter T, the vertical line is the depth of knowledge and skill development, and the horizontal line is the ability to collaborate and apply competencies in related fields other than their main one. The Scrum Guide requires Scrum teams to be cross-functional, meaning its members collectively have all the skills and expertise to do the work and to create value each sprint. But Scrum does not emphasize team members being T-shaped. At the same time, it indicates that if the Scrum team lacks some skills, then they share or acquire such skills as needed. Cross-component team is a group of people who collectively have all the skills and expertise to do the work and to create value each sprint, not only within the main component they develop, but also across other components. This is very useful to be less dependent on other teams, avoid bottlenecks, not wait for other teams to do some work, and eventually deliver value faster each sprint. The Scrum Guide does not directly say that your team has to be cross-component or consist of T-shaped members. However, since Scrum is a framework, it does not limit you to be such a team. And at a certain maturity level, teams eventually empirically realize that this is a sustainable way to achieve the ability to deliver value every sprint. And 3 more points to mention here, although they are in the Scrum and in the Scrum Guide. Product backlog refinement is not necessarily an event or meeting. It is an ongoing activity. Sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint review, sprint retrospective are called events, not meetings, together with the sprint itself as a container. Product owner, developers, Scrum Master are called accountabilities, not roles anymore. And definitely they are not position titles.